You are a gift to others. You are a student and a teacher yourself. I just stopped saying it. I'm like, I'm just a human being.
People can tune in with foresight and hindsight.
This is self-mastery, baby.
I think in hindsight,
They give you an hour. That's actually an honor.
My God, in hindsight,
I said, well, you know, me, I have to listen to the rest of my program.
and when I think about that in hindsight, that did calm me down.
Yeah. Oh, no. Perfect. Thank you for clicking on the video because, you know, we're besties, so we got to hang out as much as possible, don't we? If you're new here, my name is HINDZ. Today, in hindsight, you are at the #1 chill spot on YouTube. We're going to talk a little bit about social anxiety. I noticed it's a big topic on the YouTubes. I've talked about it before because when I was young, although I had a lot of confidence, like I had a lot of confidence when I was a kid. Let me tell you, like at 8 years old, I thought I could beat any NBA player. I thought, I remember one time my friend, she was an actress at a very young age and she was the star of a movie. And this is so funny. I went to go to the movie to watch her do her thing. You know, I was like just one of her guests. And I went to the movie just thinking, so confident in myself, thinking that the director would see me and be like, cast him. You know, so I was like this very confident kid, but I would get very anxious in social settings. And there's just simple things I had to do throughout my life to overcome that and thrive and shift my perspective in a few ways, because at the end of the day, there's always going to be times and environments where we do feel anxious. You understand? That's just being a human being. So let's just get right into it. Podcast flow.
You know, one of the first things that I started to do was have small talk at grocery stores and the banks. Like wherever I did my errands, I created small talk with the cashiers or whoever was working there. It's literally the perfect opportunity just to practice talking to a stranger because one, they have to be nice to you. You know what I'm saying? Like you have no fears of them being rude or like, you know, saying like, you just have no fears because they have to be nice to you. You know, they're working, you know, it's their job. But two, you're not there for that long, right? So conversation stays short. And three, it just gets the energy and motion. Anytime I don't like, you know, cashing out my groceries and having that like 1 minute or 2 minute of silence where the person's just scanning and I'm just waiting there to pay. Like to me, it seems like a missed opportunity for an engagement. Maybe I can say something that will elevate their day. Maybe their boss was just ringing them out, yelling at them, and, you know, they're feeling really down on themselves. And me just commenting on how fire their shirt is and the color and the whole essence of what they got going on may really lift their spirit. And the next person that comes through the lineup, they may give them a little bit more energy and compliment them because I just gave them a compliment. Maybe not, but maybe so. So I really try to take advantage of those opportunities because what you need to realize is with your social anxiety is you are a gift to others. You are a gift. Like when we have social anxiety, we often think so much about what other people are thinking about us instead of that we actually have something to offer, that our presence in that situation has so much purpose. You understand? You are a student and a teacher yourself, and the way you speak and your tone and your essence, that may resonate for somebody else perfectly. You know, nothing is new under the sun. Nothing I say is new under the sun. Anything you see on YouTube, nothing is truly new under the sun. But there's a reason that my community comes to my page and likes to listen, because the way I bring that message, we're on a frequency with one another. You understand? We can learn from one another. And you have to realize that about yourself. You have something to offer. Make small talk with people and you will realize that, hey, you have a lot more in common with people than you think. And it's actually fun. You understand? I have conversations with like, you know, 85-year-old little old white ladies down to like, you know, 15-year-old Indian kids. And we just talk, you know, ask them what they're doing, how they're doing this weekend. Hey, what are their dreams? You understand? And guaranteed you will develop better small talk. You will know how to start conversations and how to close them so you don't get into that awkward situation of you don't know what to say. Try it out. Second thing that I did to overcome social anxiety was my creativity. Now, creativity is
my main thing. It's been a lifesaver. And a lot of the stuff I've learned over the last decade, I kind of jam-packed it into this class just for you, so you could get your expression flowing and going. You can check it out with our sponsor, Skillshare. Now, Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for anyone who loves learning like I do and wants to explore their creativity and learn new skills. And I believe we need to invest in ourselves, in our personal growth, in our creative abilities. I was interested in joining Skillshare because, first off, I'm a fan of learning and fine-tuning my craft, which allows us to have a deeper understanding of our creativity and ourselves. I've learned from creators like Ali Abdaal, Sorrel, and in my course, we journey through creativity as a personal development tool. One good thing about Skillshare is it's ad-free, so you can stay in the zone while you're exploring all these new skills. Plus, new premium classes launch every single week, so there's always something new to discover. So no excuse not to try something out. So I would love for you to check out Skillshare, especially my course, because I believe our highest form of nutrition is in our expression, and that is what my course embodies. It's there to help you get started on your YouTube channel and your content creation, and use it as a tool to become your best version of yourself. So I want to hook you up. The first 1,000 people to use the link in my description or use my code HINDZ will get a 1-month free trial on Skillshare.
Diving deep into a creative process taught me a lot more about myself and gave me confidence in myself to step out into the world and share a piece of myself. Again, social anxiety, a lot of the times we be thinking too much. We be questioning ourselves and thinking other people are judging us. Or we find ourselves in environments with people that maybe we normally wouldn't even want to hang out with. When I started to create, I started to attract like-minded people or other creative people. And it was easier to actually hang out or go to events because we all had similar interests. You know, before that, I would go to a party and everybody's like drunk or, on a different frequency. And I would be hard on myself that I wasn't able to fit into those environments. And then I realized, well, this isn't my environment. Stop forcing yourself to go into an environment that you don't even like and then questioning why you're not comfortable in those environments. So I instead stopped going to these places and I dove deep into something that I love, my creative process. And it gave me more understanding. It gave me more confidence with myself. And then I had the confidence to share it with the world. And I've been doing that for a good 10, 12, 13 years. And that in itself right there, I don't think I would have as many connections as I have if it wasn't for my creativity. It's a form of communication for me. It's a language, you understand? And one of the most beautiful things you could do is take something that's in your mind, take something that's in your heart, take something that's in your spirit and put it into something. And then to give it to somebody, give it to the world and say, hey, this is me. And someone is going to be so receptive of that. And thank you, because they're going to say, wow, you inspire me. You inspire me. That motivated me, or that is beautiful. Another thing I did that allowed me to really overcome my social anxiety was traveled. I traveled the world and I didn't stay in hotels. When I travel, I'm not really big on hotels like resorts. You know what I'm saying? And what I love about traveling is everything is brand new. You're kind of forced to step out of your comfort zone. Let it be breaking down language barriers or simply trying to find directions, and you have to talk to a stranger and say, hey, where is this bus stop? Or, where is this amusement park? Or where are these sites? And then you learn about other cultures and you develop more of a worldview, and then you develop curiosity. So instead of fearing people, you're more curious now. Instead of fearing what they're going to think or say, you are curious into who they are, where they come from, because you have a love for culture and other people. This allows you to feel connected to others. And again, when you're traveling in a new country and you're not just staying in a resort, comfy resort where you don't leave and buffet, but you actually go into these cities and you engage, you are forced out of your comfort zone. Everything is different. And one thing about human beings that we are good at, we know how to adapt. There's things that you think you can't do, but if you were put in a do or die situation, you would do it. You understand? It's just how we are. Of course, we're going to choose the path of least resistance. But if you are put into a tough situation and that pressure is on your shoulders, your back is against the wall, your spirit kicks into a whole new overdrive, and parts of you come to the surface that you didn't even realize that you have. So when I would travel, I noticed that I wasn't really just allowed to stay comfortable and not speak up, not to talk to strangers, because I needed to figure out where I was going. You know what I'm saying? I needed to figure out how I get to this train station because my train is leaving at 2 and nobody around me speaks English. So I better try my best to learn a couple words in that language and talk to people. And it just really developed my spirit and allowed me to connect with others and just remove that fear. Just remove that fear. Highly recommend that. And of course, traveling takes finances, it takes money, but you can do it on a budget. You understand? You can save up, you can make that plan. But the whole point is just having more of a worldview and bringing curiosity into the situation. Because once you realize that you have something to offer people, and then once you become curious of other people, you will want to step into those engagements because you have something to give and you have something to learn from them. You stop thinking about the fear. You stop thinking about what they're going to say. You understand? I look at human beings like pieces of art, all of God's creations. And I'm like, I think about the depths of my mind and all my dreams and everything I've been through. And I'm like, every single person has their own version of that, their own story of that. So when I meet people, I'm like, I'm not focused on what they think of me. I'm like, wow, who are you? Let me see how God made you. You understand? Like, what are the depths to your mind? I'm curious. And in that situation, I also know, hey, I may have something to offer you. Through this conversation, we will exchange value because we are teachers and students of one another. Last thing that I did to, overcome that anxiety in social settings is I stopped putting emphasis on that anxiety. Why do we expect ourselves to feel 100% comfortable in every setting or in every new setting around people or lots of people? It's uncomfortable. Of course, we're going to be comfortable by ourselves or with our best friend. But if we go to a dinner and there's 10 new people, or we're at a party, or we're starting a new job, there's supposed to be butterflies. You're supposed to feel a little bit anxious. It's normal. So guess what? I stopped saying that I have social anxiety. I just stopped saying it. I'm like, I'm just a human being. Sometimes I feel a little anxious, and guess what? I work through it. I give it time. I allow patience to work through me. You understand? When I meet someone off the rip, why should I feel 100% comfortable with them? Even professional performers who have been performing for 10 years, I've talked to people. They say before they go on stage, they still feel butterflies, you understand? Because they're excited and they love it. So when I start to feel anxious, I see it as an opportunity. I'm like, oh, I'm a little anxious here. Let's give it time, you understand? Let's ease ourselves into the energy. This is a new energy into the room. So why do we expect ourselves to feel so confident here? Why do we expect ourselves to be the life of the party? Observe, you understand? Chill and stop putting emphasis on the social anxiety and realize you have something to offer. Realize you have something to learn and realize that it's completely normal. You understand? You are not a anxious person. You are somebody who may feel anxious at times, but that's just an emotion. That's just a feeling that will pass by, just like everything else. You're not an angry person if you experience anger. It's just an emotion you experienced, because you will be happy one day or sad one day. When you're anxious, You will feel confident another day. You will feel joyful another day. You'll feel sorrow another day. These are just emotions, and we get to journey in grace through them. You understand? So you don't know in hindsight, everything is going to be all right. It's a vibe thing. We powered by. See you soon.